Welcome back, guys, to another vlog. Just vanning it. Our Q&A has finally arrived this Sunday. So thank you guys very much. We've hit the 1,000 subscribers.
Woo-hoo.
So cheers to that. I don't drink champagne, but I'll have a beer.
Which means I get all the champagne.
Oh guys, yeah, thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it. Thank you for all those people that posted questions. And those that didn't, well, hopefully next time with your Q&A you can drop some questions. So let's dive straight into it, love.
Awesome. Justin Credible. How is the tug going, towing the van? And how do you research where to stay and what to do?
So the tug was doing okay just till the other day. We blew an intake pipe on the to the turbo, which is apparently quite common. Ute's done about 105,000 k's. We've done about 22,000 k's on the road. So with that being fixed, it's all going well. We've just had it serviced and tyres will be due in about 2,000 k's. And what was the second part of the question?
How do you research where to stay and what to do?
So we use wiki camps. We follow a few pages on Facebook as well, and we use Google, and we chat to the locals in the caravan park, which has actually given us the most feedback on what to do in the areas. We'll just say to someone, "Oh, we're going to the Flinders Ranges, for instance," and they'll be like, "Oh, you need to see this and that and that and that," and then only then do we start researching it, and that's how we find on what to do and where to go.
Frank Gatt, how well does your three-way fridge perform?
So the three-way fridge is performing okay up in the NT, to be honest. 2 days to make ice, it's running okay, and it's pretty humid up here. Obviously when we were in the winters down in south, we didn't even actually turn the gas on, it just held the whole time. So it's performing okay. If it had to break, I would put a two-way compressor fridge in.
The great thing about the three-ways, we've got the gas for free camping. When we're in the park, we can actually plug it into power, and when we're traveling, we can turn it over to battery. Yep. Daryl's Travels. Where do you get your music from for your videos?
So originally I started with Artlist. I paid $200 a year and unlimited downloads, and now also combined with that is no copyright sounds from YouTube.
Jack Andrews, what sort of drone do you use?
I started with the Maverick Air that I bought last year up until about episode 9 or 10, and then I've now upgraded to the DJI Maverick 2 Pro with some filters on the front.
Which filters are they?
The NISI filters. So there's a wide range on the market. So
Julie C, what do you do with your dog if you're out all day and can't take her with you, and does she make a mess in the van? Great question. If we're out all day, we'll get her a pet sitter like we did in Uluru. If we're going out for a few hours, we tend to leave her in the van. It just depends, weather dependent, because she doesn't regulate heat well, so we've got to make sure that we're in aircon and she's nice and cool and has plenty of water. Does she make a mess in the van? Absolutely. She's actually a pretty chill dog. She has got a habit of jumping on the dining room table to see out the window. And we left the blind up, and
yeah.
She decided she was going to rip it down, and she did a really good job of that. But other than that, she's pretty well behaved. Greta Kum, talk us through your meals in a typical week. How much is self-made, and what is the weekly budget? Weekly budget is between $160 to $200, just depending on what we're eating during the week and also whether or not we're remote. If we're remote, sometimes the groceries tend to be a bit more costly. A typical week for us is definitely traditional sort of meat, potato and 3 veg. We'll do either a roast chicken, a roast piece of pork or a roast piece of beef, and then we'll have that the next day in wraps or salad. I pretty much live off vegetable chili and lentil and chicken curry, and Derek has a fair number of pasta dishes, so bolognese or a pasta bake, and we also cook a lot of chicken, whether it's chicken parmesan or chicken pieces roasted. Lady Susan Jane, I mentioned to my father I want to free camp, and he said it is unsafe. What are your thoughts on free camping being unsafe?
Well, when we set off on our trip, free camping was sort of lower on the priority list, and that's just because of our background. But once we did do a couple of free camps, that's definitely the way to go. We try free camp wherever we can now. regarding the safety, well, we read the reviews. We use an app called Wikicamps. It's $8 a once-off payment, and we read the reviews of that park, or that free camp, I should say. And also, I think 90% of the time, we've never been alone at a free camp. Someone always tends to, like last night we were free camping, we were the only ones there until about 7, and then another couple pulled in further up, and then another younger couple pulled in a rooftop, and we were parked so far apart. But yeah, we have, I think, once got to a free camp and we just felt uneasy about the place, so we just moved on to the next one. There's always another one up the road, so yeah.
105 Adventures Oz. Would love to know about your new camera's filming quality. It's awesome.
So the new camera, we broke a GoPro 8 on the Catherine Gorge, and I decided to, instead of buying another GoPro, I bought a Sony ZV-1. It's a little point and shoot. It's nothing fancy in terms of lenses. I didn't want anything like that. It's a very light, small, and it's got built-in stabilization. So I went that one, I think it was $1,100 for it. We are struggling with the stabilization in it, so we do apologize. I just bought a gimbal for it, but I just can't seem to use the gimbal because it needs calibrating all the time, and sometimes I'd be like yesterday in the rock pools and stuff. I haven't got time to sit and try to calibrate it in the wind. So we reverted back just to on the selfie stick. So that's the camera I use now, yeah.
Jacinta Bush or Jacinta Bosch, what software do you use to edit your videos?
So I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and along with that, my photography, I do Lightroom and Photoshop, so it all kind of works in together. So that's all I use.
Oz mid-40s couple, is the continuous towing taking any toll on your van or vehicle yet?
So yes, it has. The tyres, we've done 20,000. I thought I'd get more out of the tyres. It is a second-hand ute. Excuse me. And as I mentioned earlier, we blew a pipe on the Ford, which apparently is pretty common, especially towing 3-ton everywhere we go. Something's bound to happen. So that pipe went, but it was an easy fix, and yeah, so it is taking a bit of its toll, yeah. But she's doing well.
Karen Schultz, have you done a blog on your weekly budget and what it costs to be on the road? We haven't done a blog on the weekly budget yet, but it is something that we want to do in a bit more detail. In terms of costs, rule of thumb, looking at couple to a small family, $1,000 a week. Our budget sits around sort of that $160 to $200 for food per week. We allow ourselves $750 a month for campsite fees, so that means that we do need to be free camping 2 to 3 times a week, and our fuel is between $400 to $800 a month, just depending on how far we're going in terms of distance. Paige Popple, how do you go with campsites and your dog with regards to restrictions like national parks?
So with national parks, we try and find the closest campground, not free camp, as close to a national park or where we can't take Sophie. So we know that if we leave Sophie in the van, she's got aircon, we leave her water, we leave her food, and we leave her lights on, and we tend to not try and leave Sophie for more than about 3 hours. We'll go back, check on her, and if there's something more we want to do, well, then we'll go off and do that.
But we are definitely restricted in terms of the national parks, obviously not being allowed dogs in parks, but we've always managed to find a way around it. It might just mean an extra 10 to 20 kilometers travel.
It does cost us a little bit more, but we knew that from the start, so we built it into the budget. So.
Lady Susan Jane, good things and bad things about your trip?
Good things. Don't have to cut grass. We can go wherever we want to go, basically. And meeting new people on the road, fellow travellers, grey nomads, anyone like that. We social people. We love meeting new people along the road. We've met 230 travellers. Adam, Mia, follow the coast. Come on, let's go 2020. We've maybe travelled a few camps with them, and then we've all sort of gone on our separate ways. We keep in contact still, and hopefully we meet more people. So that's the good things. Bad things. What is the bad things?
I don't have a bathtub.
No bathtub.
I don't have a bathtub.
I suppose people think, oh, caravan's easy to clean, but you make toast and the place is dirty because you're in such a small area. And sometimes we can just sort of be on top of each other, and you kind of just need to go, well, I'll go stand outside for a bit and you do what you need to do and we'll swap places. But the bad...
Other than that, I don't think that there's anything bad, to be honest.
No, the weather's just the weather. You can't change it, so it's no use moaning about it.
And you just see so many amazing places, and you've got freedom, you've got flexibility. So, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way at the moment. Young nomads, would be cool to know what work you do on the road and how long you plan on travelling this amazing country. In terms of work on the road, I work for an amazing international company that allows me flexibility to work remotely as long as I have a good Wi-Fi connection, and I also need to have Telstra. I work as a resourcing partner or a talent acquisition specialist, and basically I source talent for the company. In terms of how long we plan to be on the road?
Well, we originally thought 18 to 2 years, but with COVID, things have changed, the way we work's changed, so we'll just go for as long as we can, and or if we get tired of it, I don't know, whatever goes. At the moment, if you ask me, I'm going nowhere. I just love my little caravan and our ute and our lifestyle.
Wet Seal Bayside South franchisee. Could you tell us what drone you use, which you've answered earlier, and what camera you use for footage?
So, drone is a DJI Maverick 2 Pro with some Nissi filters. We've got a Canon 5D Mark IV, the Sony ZV-1, GoPro 7, GoPro 8 and a GoPro 360.
Sharon Knoll_Knoll, talk about free camping setup, how many days you can go for, tricks and tips on how you get the most out of your batteries.
If we were doing this before the weekend, I actually couldn't even tell you that because I must probably be just lying. But since we've had the battery sorted out last week, I think things are working correctly now. So we just did 3 days free camping, and by the time we got to the camp we're in now, that we paid for, from the solar, the batteries went up full again. So I think things are working properly now. So we could, I don't know, our budget was if we could get 3 to 5 days a week out of free camping, that'd be absolutely awesome. And then you pay for a night to charge everything up properly and do washing, top up the water tanks, and we head off again. So
we have done 7 nights before, and in terms of tricks and tips to get the most out of your battery system, I'd say most importantly, make sure your solar panels are clean.
Yeah.
I get Derek up there cleaning solar panels all the time. John Buntoft, how did you fix your sound quality on your vlogs?
So I don't know what happened but when we started off on our very first video up the Sunshine Coast of Australia, Queensland, I thought I googled an inside Premiere Pro. I thought it had to be -18 for some reason, so I've made it -18, and unfortunately we don't have a TV or anything we can watch it on, so I can't get the full surround sound sort of feeling.
Experience.
And I thought we were doing alright, but it's feedback like you guys that give us that I can try and fix it, and so it had nothing to do with the microphones. We only got the microphones also, I think, in episode 10. We're just running off a little thing on the GoPro, which I look back now and I'm so glad we did change it. But yeah, so now it sits at -3 to 0. That's where it's got to be. And what I try and do is I just try and bring that music down, not as high, so we can just try and keep it pretty even throughout the video. So all the feedback we get from you guys, I try my best to work on it and try and get better content for you guys.
Excuse me, batting the flies.
Not that bad, but yeah.
Flies are thick as here. Michael George, how did the caravan hold up on the corrugation near Lake Eyre?
Look, the corrugation was okay. Apparently the road wasn't too bad. I'd never done it before. I felt it was okay. We started off doing 30 k's an hour. We ended up averaging about 50 k's an hour because we found that was, for us, that was perfect. Some people let their tyres down. We didn't, because the people that come off the Oodendata track when we were climbing on or starting the Oodendata track, they said they never did. So we took it easy. It would be better. I wish I had done it. It held up fine. Just a couple of little screws inside the caravan where the draw rails came loose. We bought some epoxy, dipped the screws in epoxy and put them back in, and they've held ever since. So I think we did okay.
We came off really lightly considering it's an on-road van with a rock roller suspension, and we have had some stories where travellers had far worse experiences with broken suspensions and smashback windows. So the old van did well. Danny Jensen, did you end up staying at Craddock? In short, no, we didn't. Craddock unfortunately was closed with COVID. Pity, but we did find a great spot just up the road, and Derek can drop a link in below. We'd definitely recommend.
A little tag.
Oh, a tag in above, not a link in below. Tag in above. Travel Point Pike, what have you bought or added to your van since leaving?
So we added a couple extra fishing pipes. Diesel heater went in. That was through isolation. I was advised that it gets cold and I didn't want to. We did. I'm glad we did. We've changed the chairs. We've gone from a bigger table down to a smaller folding table, just quicker and easier. And also we can throw it in the ute if we want to go out. This is our spare little table, actually, that we just leave in the ute. But what else have we added?
A chainsaw?
Well, yeah, we bought, we started with a petrol one. We went on to a battery one, guys. It saved us heaps of money. Yes, your outlays, but the amount of times we enjoy having a campfire, and we love cooking on it, and we'll have it if we can. And if you're looking at $20 a bag of wood at a Servo or Bunnings, we'll go through a bag and a half a night. Yeah, $30 a night. It's
money well spent.
Paid itself over so many times. What else?
We have upgraded the fridge in the back of the ute because...
That's the ute though. So on the ute we upgraded the fridge to a little stand-up fridge. It's just we find it so much easier to get in and out of it and to pack things, and you can see things way better. We don't have anything fancy, so we don't have the canopy with the side doors and that. But so we've done that. We put a UHF in Alice Springs. We put the Selfie Go in. It's early on in our travels, which if you're working on the road and you want internet, it's a must-have. It's a lot of money outlay, but yeah,
definitely worthwhile.
If you want, I've got another little link. I think I'll drop a link in as well of our install. I think that's about it, guys. Yeah.
The pan for the Weber. Don't forget the pan for the Weber.
The Weber casserole dish. Now we bought the smaller one because we're only 2 people. For $100, I tell you what, it's the best thing we could have ever done. We also bought that somewhere along our road. We saw one. We thought we'll give it a go. We make curries in it. We do chicken dishes in it.
Vegetables, potatoes, soups.
Everything. Pastas, the whole doodly-doo. So it's
Highly
really
recommended.
something we really enjoy having.
And just a question that we get a lot is how long have we been on the road? And are we still enjoying it?
So 7 months on the road. We left on the 25th of January. We've done 22,000 Ks, but I think what we'll do is we'll set aside a whole video on how far we're doing and whatever how our trip's going, what we enjoy about it, etc. And what was the other part?
Are we still enjoying it?
Loving it.
Absolutely.
I have no intentions of going back to big cities or anything like that. No.
It's very difficult to imagine life as it was and going back to that
It was
life.
very nervous to get started. We've learned so much, but I think converting back to normal life is going to be harder than converting to this lifestyle.
Absolutely. If we've left anybody out, I do apologise. We did go through all the questions on the page, but we may have overlooked you, so apologies if that has happened. And again, just a big thank you to all of the supporters.
Huge thank you, guys.
Who support us on a weekly basis. It is really important to us, and we really value
our milestone was that 1,000 subscribers. If you don't know about it, you can YouTube why 1,000 subscribers is so important. We won't dribble on that too much. But that was a big one, and now we've set ourselves other goals, and we work towards that. And I'm trying to work on getting better content, more exciting content for you guys. So if there's anything you guys want to know about our trip and that we're not giving on or putting in our videos, please let us know. Drop comments in, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, because we do this. I basically concentrate on this. I do this for you guys and to entertain you and to just make memories, for ourselves. So is that it?
That's it.
So guys, enjoy the week until next Sunday.
Cheers.